Today, we are going to have fun learning together. What is our topic for today? Our topic for today is output devices and storage devices. Let us begin with output devices. So, what exactly are output devices? Do you remember the IPO cycle that I explained you? IPO, input, processing, output. And I gave you the example of orange juice, right? In that example, what was the output? The output was orange juice. Right, kids? Okay. So, in a similar way, suppose that, you are typing something on a keyboard. Alright. So, when you type, you are giving some instructions to the computer, right? So, what is the keyboard? Keyboard is an input device. When you type, the computer displays the same thing on the screen of the monitor, right? So the computer first understands, it does the processing. So that is the second step, processing. And in the third step, it shows us the result on the monitor. So what is monitor? Monitor is the output device. Do you now understand what are output devices? The parts of a computer that help us to show the result of processing are called output devices. Now let us learn about a few output devices. The first one that we have in the list is monitor. You've all seen a monitor, right? You've all worked on a monitor. So it will be very, very easy for you to understand that what exactly is a monitor. What does a monitor look like? A monitor looks like a TV screen. It shows you whatever you type on the keyboard or draw with the mouse. Thus, it shows you both the input and the result of the processing. Now, the next one that we have is a printer. I'm sure many of you must have a printer at your home. So, you all must be knowing what a printer is. And also, the meaning of the printer is in the word itself. Printer. Have you heard of printouts? You must have taken out printouts, right? Maybe for your summer assignments or any other kind of school project. So, you all know what a printout is. I'll explain it to you once again. A printer prints the result of your work from a computer screen on a sheet of paper. This is called a printout. Okay? Whatever you see on the screen, you can take a printout of that particular thing using a printer. Suppose if you want a picture of tiger for your summer project. So what are you going to do? You are going to search tiger on the internet on your computer, and once you get the picture of the tiger on the screen of your computer, what will you do? You will take a printout of that tiger, and once you take the printout on the paper, what do you call it? It is called a hard copy. And the tiger that you have on the screen of your monitor, what is it called? It is called a soft copy. Understood? So now, let's move on to the next one. Okay, now I'm not going to tell you the name of the next output device. You have to guess it. Suppose when you play games on your computer. For example, so when you're shooting, you can hear the sound of the shooting, right? So, from where does the sound come? Does it come from your monitor? No. From where does it come? It comes from the speakers, right? So what is our next output device? Our next output device is the speakers. So can you hear only the sounds that come out from games? No, right? You can hear all the sounds that come out from the computer through the speakers. It could be anything. If you are watching movies on your computer, what is the device that from which you can hear all those sounds? All those sounds come out from the speakers. Speakers are the output devices that produce different types of sounds processed by a computer. you can listen to music or speeches stored in the computer with the help of speakers. Okay? Now we will move on to our next output device. And this output device, I'm sure that each and every one of you is using this device. Okay, so the next output device that we have is headphones. During our online sessions, I saw many of you using headphones. So you all know what headphones are, right? Why do we use headphones? We can listen to the sounds that are produced by a computer through the speakers, right? Then why do we use headphones? We use headphones because when we use headphones, we can listen to the sounds very clearly. And also, when we use headphones, it does not cause disturbance to others. Suppose if you are listening to music and the others who are sitting with you do not want to listen to music. So what can you do? You can use headphones, right? So when you will use headphones, only you are going to listen to the music, not the ones sitting with you. So you can listen to music or any sound from a computer with the help of headphones without disturbing others. It is also helpful during a web call for listening to the audio. Okay? So this was all about the output devices. Now we are going to move on to the next topic, that is the storage devices. Okay, so now we have learned about input devices, processing devices, output devices. Now what are these storage devices? I'll tell you what are storage devices. What do the storage devices do? The parts of a computer which are used for storing data are called storage devices. They help in storing any work done on a computer permanently. Okay, now suppose if you are painting on a computer, you have drawn a house and now you saved that house and you want to show it to your father when he comes back home from his office. So what did you do? You saved that house in your computer. So when you save, which is the device that helps in saving? That device is called the storage device. You saved your house in the storage device of your computer. Alright? So that is how the storage devices work. They are a very, very important part of the computer because storage devices help you to save any kind of information that you want permanently. Okay? Now, let us take a look at few of the examples of storage devices. I will start with the most common one that you all know. Okay, I'll let you guess the name of that storage device. Suppose when the school reopens, I ask you to perform a dance in the assembly. And I tell you that you have to bring the song from your home. And where do you have the song? You have the song saved in your computer system, right? So what are you going to do? Are you going to bring the whole computer system to the school? No, right? What will you do? You will bring that song in a pen drive, right? I'm sure many of you have done this before. When teachers asked you to bring a song, what did you do? You brought that song in a pen drive. So what is a pen drive? A pen drive is a storage device. You can copy the song from your computer into a pen drive, right? So a pen drive helped you to store the work that was on your computer. So a pen drive can store a large amount of data, and a pen drive is an external storage device. What is meant by external? External means that a pen drive is not attached to the computer permanently. Is a pen drive fixed inside the computer? No, right? It is outside the computer. You can carry the pen drive anywhere, right? It is not fixed to the computer. So a pen drive is an external storage device. And how does this pen drive work? The pen drive works when you insert this pen drive into the USB port. Where is this USB port? The USB port is in the CPU. So when you insert the pen drive into the CPU, it starts working. And there is one more feature of pen drive. That is that you can add whatever data you want in the pen drive, and you can also delete the data. Suppose you have many songs in your pen drive and you don't want some of the songs. So what will you do? You can delete those songs. You can remove those songs from your pen drive. Okay? And pen drive is known by one more name. What is that name? That is flash drive. Alright? So this was all about pen drive. Now we will move on to the next storage device. The next storage device that we have is the hard disk. What is a hard disk? I'll tell you. Okay, so suppose that you do a lot of work on your computer. You make lots and lots of drawings on your computer, and you want to save all those drawings. So where are you going to save it? You save it in your computer. But then, where do the drawings go? In which device? All those drawings will be saved to the hard disk of your computer. There is a hard disk inside the CPU of your computer. So all those drawings will be saved to that particular hard disk. So whatever work that you saved in your computer gets stored in the hard disk. And the hard disk can save a large amount of information. Okay? And how is it made? It is made up of one or more metallic disk. Alright kids? Now let us move on to the next storage device. The next storage device that we have is a floppy disk. Okay, now you must be thinking, what is a floppy disk? I have never heard of a floppy disk. I'll tell you. Why have you never heard of a floppy disk? Because nowadays we do not use floppy disk. It was used in the olden times. In fact, if you will see many of the CPUs, you will not even find a floppy drive in many of the CPUs nowadays. How does a floppy disk work? A floppy disk works when you insert it into the floppy drive. A floppy drive is inside the CPU. So when you insert the floppy disk inside the CPU, it starts working. But we don't use floppy disk nowadays because the floppy disk stores a very small amount of information. And now we have pen drives. Pen drives can store large amounts of information. So we don't use floppy disk nowadays. Okay? Now the next storage device that I have for you is compact disk. Have you heard of a compact disk? No? Okay. Have you heard of a CD? Yes? Everyone has heard about a CD. So what is a compact disk? Compact disk is the full form of CD. C as in compact and D as in disk. Compact disk. A CD stores more information than a floppy disk, and it is also an external storage device. How does the CD work? A CD works when it is inserted into the CD drive. And where is the CD drive? The CD drive is inside the CPU. So when you insert a CD into the CD drive, it starts working. And there is one fact about CDs. That is that like suppose if you scratch CDs, they don't work. So you have to handle CDs very carefully. Even if there is a single scratch on a CD, it won't work. And you will lose all of your data that you have stored on the CD. So you have to handle the CDs very carefully. Alright? So here is the end of our today's lesson. But before saying goodbye, I have a small homework for you. Okay, so you have to find out the name of the person who is called the father of computers. I can give you one hint. This person was born in the year 1971 in London. Okay? So, I hope that you will find the name of this person and tell me who is this person. Okay? So, kids, this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed learning with Dimple Mom. Have a great day. Bye-bye.